The Last of Us Season 2 has been very predictably a disaster because we're seeing the same thing happen again, Jay. We're seeing history repeat itself. Like 5 years ago, when they followed up a beloved game in The Last of Us with Neil Druckmann's magnum opus, The Last of Us Part 2, where he got to take someone else's work and do everything he wanted to do with it, which including killing Joel off immediately, making you play as Abby, heavy on the lesbian transgender allegories and storylines and plots and things like this. This was everything he wanted, and gamers rejected it. It got annihilated. It was disappointing, and it basically ended the franchise in video game format. They wanted to come out with a 3 that's no longer in the cards because that one torpedoed the franchise. So when they announced that, hey guys, we're going to do a Last of Us show on HBO, people said, better only do 1 season of it because we know what will happen after that. And predictably, that's exactly what has happened. The Last of Us TV show's ratings plummet following Joel's demise. Now, who could have seen that coming? Everyone. Sadly, even though this is one of the rare instances where strain from the original might have actually helped, HBO ultimately chose to stick closely to the game's events, and now, much like the original, it's learning the hard way. Despite Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey's presence, The Last of Us is no Game of Thrones and can't get away with the unceremonious killing of the first season's de facto protagonist. Barring a few minor changes, the show's depiction of Joel getting a man choosed turned out nearly identical to the original, allowing many TV fans to step into the gamer's shoes and experience the genius of Neil Druckmann's writing firsthand. Genius. And needless to say, the general reaction was pretty much what you'd expect. The Last of Us Rotten Tomatoes audience ratings have absolutely plummeted. Same with the Metacritic ratings for the TV show, in a similar fashion to exactly what we saw with The Last of Us Part 2. Everyone told you this would happen, and then you went and did it anyway. And Critical Drinker is the one who posted this. Ironically, just like we said, history repeating itself, just like we saw 5 years ago when Naughty Dog tried to silence people on YouTube for saying bad things about the game, we're seeing that once again. Because Drinker made this a little over a day ago, about 24 hours ago, why The Last of Us is falling apart. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't up very long before it got pulled down. This video contains content from Home Box Office Inc., who has blocked it on copyright grounds. Now, I saw some people saying they struck it. I don't actually think it's a copyright strike from anything we know. It looks like it may just be a copyright block, which does happen and has a much different effect on channels, just for the record. But it is exactly like what we've seen before. And it's not like Drinker is some a random YouTuber who just started and doesn't know how to avoid copyright claims or how much he can or can't put into videos, right? It's Critical Drinker. But I have a feeling that we know exactly which video or which clip potentially is getting a lot of backlash. And it's this one right here. When Ellie finds out that her girlfriend Dina is pregnant with somebody, obviously not her child, with Jesse's child, because they were fucking not that long ago. And by the way, the fact that Isabella Merced is with this fucking goblin is the most unrealistic thing about this like zombie plague post-apocalyptic world. That is the most unrealistic thing, that Isabella Merced would dare fucking date something like this. But after finding out that she's pregnant, here we go, Jay.
I'm gonna be a dad.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna be a dad, Jay.
Drinks all around. Celebration.
And this is followed up by a lesbian fingering sex scene, which we won't show that.
A lesbian finger?
A lesbian fingering sex scene.
Yeah, don't show that. That was rough.
But even this is different, right? This is changed from the game. Look at how they approached it in the game when Ellie finds this out. And obviously they're on the run. Like, this complicates things, blah, blah, blah.
You know, how long have you known? Well, a few weeks. We could have still turned back. No, I wasn't sure, okay? I didn't want to be a bird. Well, you're a bird now, aren't you?
Compared to her being excited about being a dad. Because they got to go heavy with the gender ideology.
Wow.
What a disaster. And the
wonder if
ratings
like,
themselves are down, right? The people tuning in has drastically dropped off after that premiere, as we all expected, because people don't want to watch the Bella Ramsey Ellie lesbian show. They were tuning in for Joel.
yeah. And it was interesting to see it was kind of funny actually to see the reaction of people finding out Joel died for the first time after we had already known that from the game, and now the people have turned off because it's turned into a fun lesbian show. I guess we'll see. They still have another season, right? They're doing
I think they're cutting I think they're cutting the events of season 2 into 2 seasons. So yes, there will be a season 3 that will be the second part of the video game.
And then that'll be it. So I guess unless Druckmann wrote another one where he hasn't told anybody yet, and they want to extend it for whatever reason.
I can't imagine them stretching this out into 4. They're stretching the second game out into 2.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine them getting another season out of that.
I'm pretty sure he'll make another game, right? Or is he just done? To just leave it at that with that ending? Or are we finally going to see the government catch up to her and cut her up into pieces to find a cure? Maybe somebody will buy the rights and just make another game where that happens. I'm on the run from the government. Gonna come and cut you up.
Yeah, but every new episode does give us another Bella Ramsey face, unfortunately, to unleash on the entire world.
Oh. Lord. That's great.
Who could have seen this coming? Look, my channel almost got eliminated during The Last of Us Part 2 5 years ago. Neil Druckmann admitted that essentially they saw things coming out, and he talked to their copyright people and demanded the videos get taken down. It was Neil Druckmann that was behind all of that. Now look, and this is why I said I saw a lot of people going copyright strike. It's not necessarily a copyright strike. Until Drinker says it was a strike, I'm not going to run with it was a strike. It was probably just blocked. But you know, HBO and Warner Brothers, they can be a little happy with this stuff. However, again, this is not.
There's a history there.
There's a history of this stuff, or people who are critical. I've seen other people uploading 1 minute and 30-second clips of it that are still up. I've seen a lot of this stuff, and it's not like Drinker doesn't often put out videos and use clips within the copyright rules. And it was obviously fine. It cleared copyright and was up for 12 hours or something before it got taken down. So a lot of questions to be asked there.